Patrick and Adeline are at a beautiful winery in Seattle, celebrating their engagement in the most romantic setting. Candles, wine, and the perfect proposal. Everything seems magical, until it isn't. Patrick, eager to capture the moment, has hired a photographer named Nico. But when Nico fails to get a good shot, Patrick is annoyed. That's when things take a deadly turn. Out of nowhere, Nico is stabbed through the face by a masked figure, a killer known as Hard Eyes. Before Patrick can even react, an arrow pierces straight through his head. Adeline screams and runs, desperate to escape. But the nightmare isn't over. She makes it inside the winery, searching for safety, only to watch in horror as Hard Eyes slaughters a security guard. She tries to hide, but it's useless. The killer finds her and locks her inside a massive grape press machine. Her screams echo through the empty facility as the press slowly crushes her, turning her into nothing but blood and bone. News of the murders spreads fast. Hard Eyes has already terrorized cities like Boston, killing couples on Valentine's Day, and now he's in Seattle. Meanwhile, in a cozy cafe, Allie McCabe, an ad designer, sits with her best friend Monica. Allie is still bitter from a recent breakup, constantly seeing her ex flaunting his new relationship on social media. As she orders her coffee, she bumps into a handsome stranger, Jay Simmons. They both order the same drink, laugh about it, but in a moment of clumsiness, Allie accidentally headbutts Jay, giving him a bloody nose. Embarrassed, she rushes off, thinking she'll never see him again. At work, her day gets worse. She pitched an ad campaign for a new perfume featuring famously doomed couples, Romeo and Juliet, Bonnie and Clyde, Jack and Rose. But with the city in panic over the Hard Eyes murders, her boss, Crystal Kane, is furious. The campaign is being torn apart on social media for being insensitive. Crystal calls in someone to help fix the disaster. And to Allie's shock, it's Jay. He's the new hire at the company. Despite their awkward first meeting, Jay and Allie are now forced to work together. Jay, ever the charmer, invites her to dinner. Strictly for work purposes, he insists. Monica, seeing an opportunity, drags Allie to go shopping for a new outfit. Meanwhile, detectives Hobbs and Shaw arrive at the winery to investigate the gruesome murders. Among the blood and chaos, they find a wedding band with the initials J.S. engraved on it. Shaw, experienced in these kinds of cases, immediately suspects that the killer has some kind of twisted romantic obsession, executing his victims in a specific way. And soon enough, Hard Eyes strikes again, killing 2 more people at a spa. That night, Allie meets Jay at a restaurant. They start off discussing work, but their conversation quickly shifts to something more personal. Jay talks about how he still believes in love, despite everything, while Allie remains cynical, scarred from her past relationships. As their conversation grows deeper, Allie suddenly spots her ex-boyfriend, Colin, arriving with his new girlfriend, Sienna. Panicking, she impulsively pretends they're together. Jay plays along, though he's clearly surprised. When Colin and Sienna mention that they were supposed to have a double date with Patrick and Adeline, the very couple that was murdered, Allie and Jay exchange uneasy glances. After dinner, they take an Uber to her apartment, but when they arrive, she realizes she lost her keys. Jay helps her break a small window to get inside, cutting his hand in the process. As Allie patches him up in her apartment, a sudden noise makes her freeze. Her closet door creaks open, and before they can react, Hard Eyes leaps out of the darkness, attacking them. He swings his knife at Jay, but she smashes a lamp over the killer's head, giving them a chance to run. They rush back outside, but their driver is already dead, an arrow lodged in his chest. Hard Eyes is relentless. He chases them through the city, finally catching up to them in a dark park. Jay tries to fight him off but is knocked unconscious. Allie, heart pounding, sprints towards an old carousel, desperately trying to lose him. Just when it seems like she's done for, the police arrive. Hard Eyes is tackled to the ground, and Detective Hobbs declares that they've caught the killer. Allie, still in shock, finds Jay inside the back of a police car. But something is wrong. Hobbs and Shaw believe he's the killer. They found a wedding ring at the winery with the initials J.S. Jay Simmons. No matter how much she tries to explain, the police take him in for questioning. At the station, she meets David, an IT guy who awkwardly flirts with her, despite her clear distress. She tries to get the station clerk, Fran, to check on Jay while he's being interrogated. But suddenly, The lights go out. A moment of silence, then chaos. Fran is impaled with an American flagpole. The real Heart Eyes is here. The detectives rush to stop him, but Hobbs is brutally mutilated. Shaw is knocked out cold. Allie, desperate, grabs the station keys and runs to free Jay from his cell. They escape into the night, running straight into a drive-in theater packed with couples. The realization hits them at the same time. They just led Heart Eyes to an all-you-can-kill buffet. They try to hide inside a van, but they're not alone. A hippie couple is inside, and within seconds they are dead. Heart Eyes slaughters couple after couple, turning the drive-in into a bloodbath. Allie and Jay have had enough. They arm themselves and fight back. Allie smashes a propane tank over the killer's head, while Jay drives a machete straight into his chest. The killer collapses. Allie, unable to handle the sight of so much blood, throws up on his body. Jay, still shaken, unmasks him. The man behind the mask? Some random guy named Eli, a nobody. The nightmare seems to be over. Medics arrive. The police clean up the mess. Jay, exhausted, leaves Allie with his number before heading to the airport for a friend's wedding. But something doesn't sit right. Allie can't stop thinking about what just happened. Later that night, she gets a phone call from an unknown number. It's the real Heart Eyes. He has Jay. And he wants her to come find them. She arrives at a chapel, her heart pounding. And that's when the truth is revealed. The real killer is David, the IIT guy. But he wasn't working alone. His accomplice? Detective Shaw. They're a couple. And this is their sick idea of fun hunting and killing lovers. Eli, the man they killed earlier, was just some obsessed fan trying to copy their work. It was Shaw's wedding band at the winery. Now, they force Allie to choose, kill herself or kill Jay. Allie, thinking fast, tells Jay she has feelings for him. Then, she shoots him through the shoulder, so the bullet hits Shaw instead. David lunges at her, but Jay grabs a bow and fires an arrow straight into his eye. He stumbles backward, falling into a wall of burning candles. Shaw, bleeding out, makes one last attempt to kill Allie, but she grabs a metal straw and stabs her in the throat before pushing her into the statue. 1 year later, Allie and Jay are happy, successful, and very much in love. They return to the same drive-in where they fought for their lives. Jay casually asks if Allie wants to move in with him. Instead, she pulls out a ring and proposes. He laughs, says yes, and they kiss. As the credits roll, Allie gets a phone call. It's just a friend taking a picture of the proposal. She sighs in relief. But then, the call suddenly hangs up. The screen cuts to black. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more.